Alright, hello again. I'm back. I did promise going to do like a retype of the project. Show you, or this isn't the project, this is more like an MVP type thing. Alright, so let me open another window here, or another terminal, so I can start. Whoa. Wait. Oh. Into the wrong one. Okay, so. And then switch back and then move that down here. Alright, so. Let's make. So, alright, so in case you're wondering, I'm using a program called Vim. You may have seen it before. You've maybe watched some Primogen videos. It uses it really well. I use it kind of good sometimes. What I'm using right now, this is a extension called Oil. It's like a pretty cool file manager. You can use netrw. It's the file manager that comes with it. Part of what makes Vim cool is you can, it's modular. You can switch things out. I know you can do that with VS Code as well, but I just like the simplicity and sort of the sort of like elegance of movement that you can do with Vim. I guess as a quick little demo, I can, for instance, do that very quickly, and now I have different splits for. I know I'm going off topic now, but I can like very easily like my setup. I've got it set up so I can like very easily sort of like set things up so that I can teleport very quickly between things, and that'll be I guess that'll be useful later now that I've got that set up. All right. Anyways. Also got some like quality of life things like that, so we don't have to type out my HTML every time, which I think is useful. Okay. So I think I have the live server serving that up, but I think what I'm going to do is have the so I have that as reference. I'll just open that regularly in the browser. So it's that one. Now let's open. Then that frees up my server for this. So I'm just going to open this using my live server, which is another add-on for Vim. You can also get that in VS Code if you're using that. Or you can just open the file normally like I just demonstrated and just reload it. This, all live server does is it sort of reloads your project for you, which is pretty convenient. All right, so let's try to remember how I did this project. Okay, so I think so we have a body, and then I'm going to sort of specify that this is the controller section so that I can maybe add things on. Oh yeah, you might notice I'm using sort of custom tags, and I know that like it's not super best practice. What you're usually going to do is something like this, right? And then I would specify that. That's not best practice either, but usually do something like that, right? And you maybe separate div with maybe I would classify that as a main. But I'm just a little bit of a bad boy, Actually, I just kind of enjoy, I like how this looks more. I think it makes more sense. And also, this isn't something that's going to be read by a screen reader. So I don't think that we need to use semantics or semantic HTML for this. But, you know, it's, I think it works. Okay, so we have the controller, and then I think I have a, like, sort of a center section that I made first. I have a center section, and then I have sort of a left platter and a right platter, which you can see on the screen of the controller. So I have this platter, right? This platter, I have that platter, and I have the center section. That's also, you know, in that, and I made different sections for that. So I know it. Okay. So now that we've had those defined, I think I'm gonna make I'm gonna indent that and make a page just so that I can, just to encapsulate all of that. And then I'm gonna start, I should make a separate style sheet, shouldn't I? Yeah, I should. So in this same folder, let's make actually, let's do a split. Go over here. Now I've got my styles. Okay, so I'm going to define the page to be height of 100 view height and a width 100 view width, padding 0, and the other one, padding 0, margin 0. And I'm just going to check on that, make sure everything is connected up properly. Make sure everything is saved. Okay. Got an error, but I think that's fine. Okay, so in the body is the page. The page is filling up the page, sort of. Oh, right. And I need to give this a display property of grid. Now it fills the page. Pretty much. Okay, so now let's get to the controller. Oh, first of all, I want a class for adding a simple border to my elements. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do border, like 0.2 rem, I think. Solid. And let's say black. Or maybe gray. And then I'm going to apply that class to the controller. And then we're going to give the controller width of, let's say, 20 rem, height of 10 rem. Right. It's not really big enough, is it? I mean, I can edit that in the, just select that and then I can 3421. So let's do 35 rem, 20 rem. That's pretty good. All right. And the page, since we're in grid mode, I can just do, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do justify self. Center and align self center. So justify self is putting it in the center horizontally. Align self is centering it vertically. So we get that. And then I want to put the left platter, right platter, and the center inside of the controller and position them. So I am, again, going to be relying on CSS Grid. And I'm going to make, so I'm going to need 3 columns and 1 row. So I just usually use grid template rows. I'm going to do 1 fraction. So that's just 1 portion, just 1 row, right? And then grid template columns. I'm going to do like 2FR, 3FR, and 2FR. So what FR is doing, if you're unfamiliar, is it's adding together the total of all of these FRs, and it's assigning each of these the proportionate ratio. Does that make sense? So this, if you add these up, it's 2 plus 2 plus 3, which is 7. So this will be 2 of the 7 portions. This will be 3 of the 7 portions. That'll be 2 of the 7 portions, right? And that looks like this. Wait, did I save that? It'll look like this. Click on the grid. Now this is like 2, and then that's like a little bit bigger, and then that's a little bit smaller. If we look at my reference, it's kind of the opposite, so maybe I should switch that. Maybe have it different. So let's do like, that's too much. We're gonna go for like, I don't know, let's say 3 here, 4 here. Did I save that? Wow, okay, what did I, what proportion did I do? Maybe like, if I just, I don't remember how we divided it up with the other one, but seems a bit small in the middle. Would you say that this is like 3 and these are 4? I don't know. Don't need to get hung up on that, I don't think. Okay, so now I'm not going to specify grid names because we'll just do it in order. I guess if I am going to do it in order, I need to switch these. That down there. Wait. Right, okay, that's correct. And then I'm just going to place, since these are inside, all I have to do to make them visible be to apply that class of border. Copy that. Paste it. Now we've got our sections. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to start in the center. And that's maybe make the 0.1 rim, maybe? 5 rim? I know, I'm being a little bit... I know. Okay. We're gonna leave this space for the global classes and then... Okay. Oh, let's check to see if these are in the right place. It's left platter. That one is center. And then that one is a right platter. So what it's doing is it's just from left to right, placing these 1, 2, 3 in those sections. No need to specify. Okay, so what am I doing now? Right, so you can see on the camera in my center console, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 controls there. So that's a lot of controls. So I want to start with that one first. Oh, before we start placing controls, maybe I should get started on my JavaScript. So let's put my script tag in here. So let's do script src. Same file. I haven't created it yet, so it can't autocorrect. But we'll just call it controller.js. And I'm going to do another vertical split. And I'm going to create that file. I guess I'm breaking this convention because I gave my other files like generic names, but you know, that's fine. Okay. So I'm going to just console log something just to make sure my, yeah, that's right, I'm a comedian. Just to make sure my file is linked up. Yep, it's correctly linked up. And as you saw earlier, because you did watch part 1, right? Navigator dot hit MIDI access is going to give me my MIDI access, and then, but it's asynchronous, that's going to return a promise. I'm going to catch that with the then. And then that should return the, let's call that MIDI. I'm going to do a good old arrow function here. Let's console log that object that comes out of it. I don't have to label that, right? Navigator.get MIDI access is not a function. Uh-oh. What'd I do? Request MIDI access. My bad. Wait, I didn't need to do that. Maybe I should have just looked at my own code, but... Alright. It's gonna allow that. So, I get access to my MIDI access object. And I'm gonna look... So, this right here is a Hercules DJ Control Impulse 200. So I'm gonna look through my inputs map here. Actually, you can't look through it because it's a map. Well, you can kind of, but it doesn't like format automatically. So what we're gonna have to do is do a for in, or you could just do a for loop, but we're gonna do a for in. Wait, actually, wait, redo that. I need to look at this. And specifically, we're accessing the inputs map. So, oops, sorry about that. For variable, say inputs in MIDI dot inputs. So now we're accessing that map and looping through it. I want a console log. Let's label that one actually. Console log the input. I forgot the variable should be input. I think that's, did I not get that correct? Entries, keys, values, as get size. Wait, what have I done? So it's printing the methods. What's going on here? All right, let's fall back to our reference here. Seems like I'm doing a very similar thing here. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Can we find the bug? Okay, so I'm looking at the MIDI access inputs, looking at that map. Not sure exactly what's happening here. We will solve this bug next time, I think. We'll figure it out. See ya later.